Happy holidays and welcome to this edition of the Western New York Family Magazine podcast for December 2025. I'm your host, Paul Klein, owner and publisher of Western New York Family Magazine. Coming up in this episode, we're heading to the OLV National Shrine in Basilica, where they're celebrating 100 years this holiday season. We'll pay a visit to Spectrum Health and Human Services' new Riverside Counseling Center to talk about managing holiday stress. And we're getting a preview of the fun holiday events for the whole family in the town of Cheektowaga. But first, Twas the Night Before by Cirque du Soleil is making its highly anticipated debut at Shea's Buffalo Theater from December 17th through the 28th. And whether you're 5, 50, or 95 years old, you're sure to be wowed by the amazing acrobatics and heartwarming story. Here to tell us about the show are Jasmine and Maika Dubuc, cast members of Twas the Night Before. Welcome to you both.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, thanks for being here. Now, this is an audio-only podcast, so I just want to fill our listeners in and kind of set the scene here for them. You're identical twin sisters, and you have such a connection, both on stage and off stage. You've really gone through your training and your career side by side, haven't you?
Yes. We
And
have grown up dancing together our whole lives, so we are just completely connected.
yes, I understand that you've never taken a class apart from each other over 15 years. Is that right? And you're trained not only in dance, but in so many other areas as well. Tell us a little about that.
Yes, we also do tumbling, acrobatics, aerial work, and yep, flexibility, all the things.
Wow. So that is an impressive resume right there. Now, tell us a bit about your role in Twas the Night Before by Cirque du Soleil.
So we are the dancers. We are also called the Tooks, which are like the elves. We help Isabella through her story. Isabella is our main character in our show, so we help her through this land of magic and guide her back to her father, which is like the plot of the story.
Very nice. And what did you do before you became involved with Twas the Night Before? And how did it prepare you for the role in this production?
Yeah, so we've been dancing since we were 5 years old, and now we're 20, so 15 years. And we've also trained in every single style, which is great for the show because we quite literally do every single style of dance in this one show.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's pretty amazing.
Hmm.
Um, Cirque du Soleil productions are always full of amazing visuals and just eye-popping acrobatics. A few years ago, I had the opportunity to see the Cirque production, the water theme show
Oh
at
yeah,
the
good one.
Bellagio in Las Vegas, and I was just in awe for the entire performance. What can audiences expect in Twas the Night Before, and why is this show in particular so special for the holiday season?
Yes, so we have a bunch of amazing acts. So a few just to list them. We have hair hanging, where she is quite literally hanging from her hair. Yes. We have roller skates. They also hang from their head and roller skate in a circle. You have to come see it. We have hoop divers. There are reindeers, so they dive through hoops and do crazy cool flips. We have some duo straps hanging from their hands and stuff. Just honestly, all the best acts you can possibly put into a show. And
It's
this show is actually really unique because it's the only Cirque du Soleil Christmas show, family friendly for all ages. So
it's going to be a feast for the eyes. I can tell for sure. Now for the young audience members that you'll have there in the seats, who are going to be watching you on stage and looking up at you and saying, "Wow, I want to do that someday." What kind of advice would you have for them?
honestly, push for your dreams. I would have never seen myself doing a show like this. Came into the audition just kind of hoping for the best, obviously, because we're auditioning, but this has been the best experience that I could have ever hoped for. And this is our second year with them. Honestly, plan to come for a few more years. Like, it's amazing. It's the best show. Very interactive with the audience. And yeah, push for your dreams.
Very good. And what do you think makes this particular production different from other Cirque du Soleil productions? You had mentioned the reindeer, and I understand that there are 50 different costumes in the show, including 8 reindeer costumes. I'm sure a lot of the visuals make it a bit different, but what else sets this apart from other Cirque performances?
Yeah, so there's people from all around the world who are in this one show. There's 26 artists in each cast. We have 4 casts. And honestly, there's a couple people who actually don't even speak English, but we make it work. We just are all, it's more fun to learn all the languages. Yeah. It bonds us as a team for sure. Yeah, there's some Christmas classics that you'll recognize if you watch the show, but Cirque has reimagined the songs so that they're recognizable, but obviously our own little flair to it. Yeah, the soundtrack is my favorite part. It's amazing.
You can't beat the festive holiday music at this time of the year, that's for sure. And where can our listeners get tickets and more information about the performances taking place here?
Yeah, so tickets are on sale now at cheas.org, and you can get them today.
Wonderful. Well, we hope you enjoy your time here in Buffalo during the holiday season, and we're looking forward to seeing you on stage during this great production. Twas the Night Before is on stage at Shea's Buffalo Theater from December 17th through the 28th. Jasmine and Maika Dubuc, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Our pleasure. Up next, this holiday season marks a very special celebration for the OLV Basilica in Lackawanna. We'll tell you all about it when we come back. The Christmas season is always a special time of year at the Our Lady of Victory National Shrine and Basilica in Lackawanna. But this year's celebration holds some extra special significance as the Basilica celebrates its centennial. Here to talk to us more about that is Reverend Monsignor David LaPuma, pastor at OLV Basilica. Welcome, Father David.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here with us. Now, before we talk about the festivities planned here at the Basilica for the holiday season, tell us a bit about its history and the efforts by Father Nelson Baker to build it.
Certainly. You know, this is the crowning gem of Father Baker's City of Charity. So after expanding the orphanage back then and the infant home and the protectory for boys, what he always wanted to do was to build a national shrine in honor of his patron, Our Lady of Victory, because everything he accomplished here, he said was because of her intercession. So in 1921, at the age of 79, he was finally able to make that happen, and he laid the cornerstone for the magnificent shrine and basilica that we have today. So back in 2021, we started a centennial celebration of restoration and of just casting a light on all that Father Baker has done here. It took him 5 years to complete it, which is pretty amazing that he had it all done. So for Christmas Day of 1925, that was the first Mass. So this year at Christmas, 100 years later, we'll be celebrating Mass. Father Baker celebrated Mass at that high altar on Christmas Day back in 1925. And 100 years later, we are here now. We are leading up then into May of 2026 when we'll celebrate the 100th anniversary of the consecration. So this centennial period has been a time to really reflect on Father Baker's legacy and to make sure that it continues for the next 100 years.
What an inspiration in the Catholic faith. Now, the Basilica has gone through some major transformations over the past 5 years, as you'd mentioned. Talk to us a bit about the restoration projects that have taken place here.
Certainly. You know, it's an amazing building that it lasts 100 years, and especially in this climate of Western New York, right here on Lake Erie. But the dome itself has been compromised over the years. They put patchwork on it over the years to kind of fix holes and that kind of thing. But we determined that we really needed to restore both the outside and the inside and the integrity of the building. So we began actually with the drainage system, which was never really connected 100 years ago. The drainage pipes are actually behind the marble pillars. And over the years, every once in a while, especially after I got here, my first year, I came in June of 2019. In August, one of them burst behind the marble pillar. And there was a flood, and it was all destroyed. So just that one restoration was $100,000 to fix that. So we realized that there's more to this. So we end up going through the whole drainage system, connecting those pipes to the underground so that the water would flow out and not build up as it did over the years. So that was the first step. Then we started working on the restoration of the floors and the pews. The pews themselves are African mahogany. They're extinct. They cannot be replaced, but we found out they could be restored. So our own local Kittinger company out in Clarence came in and took them out section by section, took them out to their place, stripped them down, and brought them to their original beauty. And then while we were doing that, we replaced the floors underneath, and then we polished and took care of all the marble floors in the Basilica. Now we, in conjunction with the restoration of the dome, we're actually in the process now of taking off all the copper and putting brand new copper on and sealing the dome. On the inside, we're doing extensive work on plaster and paint repair. We have a company from New Jersey, Tiedemann Company, that comes in. They started about 5 weeks ago. They start at 5 in the evening. They have a crew of about 14 guys, and they work till 5 in the morning, Monday through Friday.
Very dedicated.
Yeah, very dedicated, but they're getting the work done. And then the other project that we're working on is the lighting. We want the lighting inside to, right now the lighting is mostly down lighting, and we want to do up lighting so you can really appreciate the beautiful murals throughout the Basilica and the statuary. A lot of the lighting from the original has really gone down. We've had to replace a lot of bulbs, that kind of thing. So this is a whole new lighting project. So the goal is for 2026 to have people walk in and to see that really pop in terms of the beauty of the paint, bringing back the original colors and the gold leafing, and then also the lighting. And the lighting will be able to be on a dimmer, so you can brighten it for special occasions, you can dim it for other occasions, depending on what needs to be done. So those are multiple projects that have been going on, plus restoration of our conference rooms in the lower Basilica. So it's been very, very extensive and very exciting.
Now, the centennial celebration, as you mentioned, has been taking place for the past 4 years, and it has really been leading up to this year's Mass on Christmas Day. Tell us again why this Mass in particular is so special for the OLV Basilica.
Well, I've seen actually black and white, the videotaping of Father Baker standing at the altar, and it's pretty moving when you think about that 100 years ago. He stood right there. I'll stand at the altar that faces the people, but he, back in the day, it was the Tridentine Mass, so he had his back to the people, but he turned around and faced everyone. And I just have that image in my head of him standing there and offering the Holy Sacrifice in the Mass, and how moving it must have been for him to finally be able to accomplish this magnificent shrine that was named a Basilica 2 months later, but to celebrate Mass that Christmas, he just had to be just filled with every emotion possible. And as he looked up at our Blessed Mother, Our Lady of Victory, to realize that all of this was accomplished because, as he said, she did it all. So I'm just very much looking forward to Christmas, as I always do, and I think Christmas is always special here for everyone. But to be able to say that 100 years ago, Father Baker celebrated the very first Mass is pretty powerful.
I was going to ask how it feels to be able to follow into his footsteps even a century later.
I all I can do is try my very best to carry on his legacy, but I'm number 6 in terms of the pastors. It was Father Baker, Monsignor McGuire, Monsignor Murphy, Monsignor Wirtz, Monsignor Burkhardt, who's still alive and with me in residence, and then myself. So it's pretty amazing in 100 years to have just 6 of us.
Yes, that is pretty incredible. Yeah. Now, in addition to the 100th anniversary Mass, the Basilica has a lot of wonderful events coming up here for the Christmas season. Tell us about the exhibits that are currently open to the public.
Sure. We're going to be opening on November 30th through January 6th, the Nativity Scenes, which we were given by Father Roy Herberger. Father Roy has been collecting them for over 30 years. I think he has a total of 900 Nativity Scenes from around the world. We're only able to put out about a third of them. And we do that downstairs in the lower Basilica outside the gift shop. We've been doing the last couple of years, and it really draws people from all over. People are just so amazed to come and to see. And they're made out of everything possible: tin, paper mache, glass, you name it, every type of medium they're made out of, and they come from all over the world. Now, he did not go to all these places himself, but the collection he would find, people would bring from different countries, and then he would just accumulate these. So he's retired, and he really wanted to find a home for them. So we welcome that here. So it's really a draw for people. We're open every day from 6:30 in the morning until 7 at night, so people can come and visit throughout the Advent Christmas season and to see the nativities.
And you also have an exhibit of stained glass windows as well, is that right?
Currently, there's right downstairs in the Basilica that will move back towards the museum, but it's the stained glass windows in the upper Basilica that we've been able to bring down so people can see them up close. They're beautiful. These were made right in Buffalo. When Father Baker was building the Basilica, it was artisans in Buffalo, the Anderle company, that made these stained glass windows. And people think they came from Europe or somewhere else. They are really surprised when they find out that they were actually made in Buffalo. So we've taken particularly the Christmas scenes of the Nativity and that so forth, of those stained glass windows, our Blessed Mother, St. Joseph, and people can come and they can actually see how the stained glass windows were made and then see them up close. So it's another beautiful exhibit, and that will continue through the Advent season.
Wonderful. And the celebration also includes celebrations of the songs of the season as well. Is that right?
Yeah, the first concert that we have every year is Handel's Messiah, that is performed by the Buffalo Philharmonic Chorus and some of the orchestra that come. And they fill the sanctuary, and we pack the Basilica. And that's going to be Saturday, the 29th of November. You can get your tickets by going online to the BPO. And you can register for the tickets for that. But it's a magnificent concert, and again, it's something everyone looks forward to. The other is our own local lessons and carols performed by our director of music, Peter Gonciars, and our choir. And again, they're outstanding in every way, so we encourage people to come, and that's going to be on Sunday, December 14th at 7 o'clock in the Basilica.
So people can come and listen and hear some beautiful music for the holiday season. Right. And then the celebration extends into the new year as well. Tell us a bit about what families can expect when they attend Kids Under the Dome event on January 3rd.
Sure. Well, before that even is Christmas Eve. The 4 o'clock Mass is generally like a children's Mass. I mean, so families can come to that. Again, the Basilica's large, so we welcome people to come. But also this year on Christmas Eve, the 6:30 Mass, we have St. Joe's Collegiate Choir coming. They used to go to St. Michael's in downtown Buffalo, and because it was uncertain whether the church was going to be open, I've invited them to come, and so the boys are going to sing here, and that's going to be very special to have the St. Joe's Collegiate varsity choir singers coming.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. And then, of course, the Midnight Mass will be a highlight because it will really be 100 years ago that Father Baker celebrated. So Midnight Mass is always beautiful. About a half hour before, we have a choral concert with our choir of Christmas carols, so people can come and participate in that. And the Basilica is decorated beautifully for Christmas. It's just magnificent with the lights, the trees, and hundreds of poinsettias, so please come and do that. And then Christmas Day, of course. But the other exciting event, and you led on to that, is the Kids Under the Dome, which we do on January 3rd, close to the Epiphany. And we started this 2 years ago. The first year we did it, we weren't quite sure what we were getting ourselves into. But we invited kids to come with their parents, of course, bring their sleeping bags, their blankets, wear their pajamas. And it's from 5:30 to 7:30. They don't stay all night. Someone asked me that. I said, "Oh no, I'm never." But they can come to 4:30 Mass with their parents if they want the family, or they can come just for the event. And the event really, it's just amazing. The first year we thought we'd get about 50, maybe 50 at tops. We had over 300 of kids and their families.
What an outstanding turnout.
Oh my God, they were all over the floors of the Basilica. They had their blankets, their sleeping bags. Part of it is we have like an MC, and she does like an I Spy, so she has the kids look up and see, can you see this angel? Can you see that star? Can you see the Blessed Mother? That kind of thing. Then they reenact the actual Magi, the three wise men going to the manger scene. They sing Christmas carols. They have arts and crafts downstairs, pizza, you name it. Last year we had to cap it, and I think it was about 550 that came. So
that's an incredible turnout.
It'll be another way for people to come, but they'll register online so we have an idea of how many are coming and have enough food to provide. But they fill the Basilica upstairs, downstairs. The joy on these kids' faces is amazing. I still have ingrained for me from each year, the first year and then last year, at one point, we invite them all just to kneel down and to look up at Our Lady of Victory and pray the Hail Mary. And there's not a sound. They all kneel down quietly, which is amazing for kids
Yes.
and families. And they pray the Hail Mary and they look up, and it's just to see their faces. And then the other image that I have is the kids that walk over to the manger scene, because that's on the side altar by St. Joseph. We set up the creche. It's very beautiful. But they were kneeling in their pajamas at the communion rail, looking at the manger scene. And that's another image of just watching these kids kind of mesmerized, and really getting into it. So it's a great event, and we call it Kids Night Under the Dome, and everyone's welcome.
What a wonderful way to welcome the families and the kids into the church here. Where can our listeners find more information about the events at the OLV National Shrine and Basilica?
Yeah, if you go to the website, www.olvbasilica.org/Christmas, all of these events are there for people to access. And again, the Father Baker wanted the Basilica to be a place that everyone felt welcomed. And that is our goal. We say all are welcome is our tagline for everything we do. And people of all walks of life, people, not even Catholic, any tradition can come, because I always say this to people, no matter what your faith background is or no faith, when you walk in that Basilica and you sit down and you look around, it's an experience. And you can feel the very presence of God, and wherever you want to get in touch with that you can actually feel the very presence of God.
What a wonderful way to celebrate the spirit of the season. Yeah. Father David Labuma, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Up next, we'll be talking with Spectrum Health and Human Services about their brand new counseling center and discussing ways to manage holiday stress. Stay with us. Spectrum Health and Human Services has just opened a brand new site. It's the Riverside Counseling Center, and here to tell us more about that is Dawn Marie Domke of Spectrum Health and Human Services. Welcome, Dawn Marie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being with us today. The Riverside Counseling Center just recently opened its doors, and it is a center offering services to the younger members of our community. It's very conveniently located with Allentown Pediatrics and Adolescent Medicine. And this center has a very special purpose. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It does have a special purpose. Our purpose is to serve children, adolescents, and young adults in the community ages 5 to 25. And we work closely with families, schools, providers to help children and adolescents through anxiety, depression, and life changes in a safe and supportive environment. All of our clinicians and prescribers specialize in treating children and adolescents, and we pride ourselves in our waiting room being child-friendly and inviting to kind of ease them into mental health treatment.
That's something that I noticed as I walked in. It's just a very, very calm and very relaxing environment as soon as you walk through the door, and I'm sure that that's very important for the children that are being treated here.
I believe so.
Now, what is the advantage of having a space like this just upstairs from a pediatric practice?
Yeah, so Spectrum has had a working relationship with Allentown for over 10 years. I used to be the clinician that was located in an office just outside their waiting room, which was amazing to be able to greet patients and families. Many of our referrals continue to come from Allentown Pediatrics, although we are going to be open to community referrals shortly. I think parents have trust in their pediatrician, can feel comfortable with a provider that their pediatrician refers them to in the same location, and having an outpatient clinic upstairs from their pediatric practice or a pediatric practice is kind of a one-stop shop for families for their child's mental and physical well-being.
having all of those services in one centralized location is very convenient for parents, I'm certain.
Yeah, and the entire building is welcoming and provides a friendly space for children and families to receive care. There's limited adults on site, as it's strictly a pediatric practice and focusing on children and young adults.
Mm-hmm. And I understand that there are special features to the counseling center here. Can you tell us a bit about those?
Yeah, so we're obviously easily accessible. We're located off the 190 and on a bus line, which is helpful for families. We have our CARES team on site, which is our crisis team that services all youth in Erie County up to age 17. We have family support workers and parent advocates that work along with us, as well as peer supports that we can refer our clients to. We're also planning on holding groups in the near future for children, teens, and families.
Important services for the kids who are at risk in our community.
Absolutely.
Yes. Now, physical health and mental wellness are very much linked, aren't they?
They are, absolutely. Kids that experience symptoms of depression and anxiety can also present with a lot of physical symptoms, including stomach aches, headaches, tiredness, loss of appetite, overeating. So I think a lot of times you'll hear kids complain of those symptoms, saying that they don't want to go to school, that they have a stomach ache or a headache, when in fact there might be something going on for them in the school environment and they're just simply anxious to go to school. Symptoms of depression can also suppress the immune system, which can obviously be concerning during cold and flu season. So if a child or adolescent is experiencing a mild or severe depression, it can also make them more susceptible to the germs that are out there in the school community.
Right. And on the flip side of that, can physical activity also help with mental health issues as well?
Absolutely. There's been a ton of studies that have shown that engaging in intense physical activity for 30 minutes, 3 or 4 times a week can actually react similarly in adolescents, children, and adults as a low-dose antidepressant can. Mm-hmm. So there's great benefit in increasing the heart rate to help manage symptoms of depression and anxiety in a natural way.
So everything is definitely linked in terms
Yes,
of the physical and the mental health
yeah.
aspect. Now we're heading into the holiday season, which can be a great time of year, but it can also be busy and stressful for the adults. And sometimes that feeds off to the kids and they can feed off of that energy. What's some good advice for family members that can help them manage their stress and their expectations for the holiday season and still find joy in it?
Yes, parents can be especially mindful of keeping to routines as much as possible, especially when fun holiday activities increase, as well as family obligations. Parents can be mindful regarding the amount of activities on the calendar, or even when they're engaged in the activity, if an activity is overstimulating or overwhelming, kind of finding a way to take a break with the child, go for a walk, checking in a quiet place, I think could be extremely helpful. Kids can also sense when parents are stressed. So I think parents can set an example for a kid and calling out that they're stressed and that they need a break. So scheduling that natural downtime for families. If you have 2 or 3 extra activities, the schools like to do holiday bazaars and, holiday events.
Right.
If there's too many of those in a week, maybe recognizing like, hey, Wednesday night, we need to just do some family time. And then alert changes in the schedule to children, let them know that, hey, not only do we have gymnastics and swimming this week, but we also have a holiday event at the school, or we're having dinner with family members, and kind of alerting them, knowing that there's going to be changes in the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
as well as when we have visitors or out-of-town guests, if a child needs to kind of give up their space for somebody that's visiting, like being able to put a positive spin on it and saying, hey, we're going to have a family sleepover in the living room, or you get to bunk with your sister this weekend.
Making some fun in the changes that they're going to be experiencing over the holidays.
Absolutely. And I think for adolescents, I think recognizing the impact that social media has for adolescents. I know it's very popular on social media apps for, other kids to provide a quote unquote haul of what they received gift wise for the holidays. And for a family that's struggling, that might be very difficult for that adolescent or that, young child to see that their friend, got the best iPhone or, the newest clothing item, or that other families are going on vacation during the holidays and their family isn't able to do that. So just kind of being mindful of that and checking in with them.
So many ways that parents can help make the holiday season a little bit less stressful for their kids and for them as well.
Yeah.
Now, where can listeners find more information about Spectrum Health and Human Services and Riverside Counseling Center?
Listeners can find more information on our website at www.shswny.org. We are located at 1775 Niagara Street in Buffalo, and our intake number is 716-539-5500.
Dawn Marie Domke, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Just ahead, the town of Cheektowaga is getting ready to celebrate the holidays with several fun events for the entire family. We'll get a preview when we come back. The town of Cheektowaga is celebrating the most wonderful time of the year with several events that are perfect for the whole family. Here to tell us all about them is Crystal Find, Director of the Cheektowaga Youth and Recreation Department. Welcome, Crystal.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Thank you for being here with us. Now, the town of Cheektowaga really knows how to get into the holiday spirit. You have 3 big events coming up during the month of December, and things kick off on Friday, December 5th. Tell us a bit about the annual Winterfest.
Our Winterfest activity kind of kicks off the entire season. We started off on Friday night with a visit from Santa, sitting out around outside under our tents. We've got some twinkle lights, we've got some crafts, you've got a DJ playing some holiday music, and the best part is at 7:30 there will be a huge fireworks show put on by Skylighters that runs for about a half hour, and then the event wraps up at 8 o'clock.
And I understand this is a free event that's open to the community. Is that correct?
Yep, everyone's welcome. We usually have about 1,500 people come through. They get to see the lights at Lawson. They get to watch the fireworks from Lawson Park, and people really seem to enjoy it.
What a great way to kick off the season. And then the following week on December 12th, you have a terrific event that's both fun and it encourages the community to give back a little bit. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, Christmas on Ice is such a great event. You can rent skates and get on the ice. You get to skate with Santa. Sometimes the Grinch shows up and skates with the kids too. We have a hot cocoa bar. We decorate cookies. And then we ask people to bring in different winter accessories, whether hats, gloves, scarves, anything like that to keep people warm. We donate them to the Boys and Girls Club of Depew, Lancaster, and Cheektowaga. And then if you bring those in, you get to skate for free, but skate rentals are always $5.
What a great way to have some fun and to help those in need in our community here. And then you really turned Stegelmeyer Park into a winter wonderland on Thursday, December 18th. What will families experience at the Sleigh and Play event?
Sleigh and Play is literally my most favorite event of the entire season. We have the outdoor tent set up with all kinds of activities going on. We have Santa out there, and the best part is we have horse-drawn carriage going around, taking people around the loop at Lawson to be able to see all of the lights and all of the hard work of putting up all those Christmas lights. It's really beautiful, especially if it snows. Even if it doesn't, it's okay. But it's really pretty, and it's just a really nice way to kind of get yourself set for the holiday season and feel very festive.
So families can actually go and reenact that that well-known Christmas Carol sleigh ride, right?
They definitely can. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it now about 3 years, and each time I swear it gets better. The horse is amazing. The people are so nice. They allow you to bring the kids up to kind of see the horses, and then you get to load in the back and you get pulled along the loop. It's really great. We do ask that people register for the event on our website, www.cheektowagarec.org. It is a $5 charge per person that covers your sleigh ride, all the activities, your pictures with Santa, everything like that.
And it's open to both the residents of Cheektowaga and non-residents as well. Is that right?
It's open to everybody.
Great holiday fun. Now, outside of the holidays, Cheektowaga Youth and Rec holds events and education classes all throughout the year. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, we really are super busy at Youth and Rec. We have so many youth sports that we run during the year. We have the Cheektowaga Warriors Hockey League that runs out of our ice rink. We have a soccer league. We have adult softball leagues that run out of Stiglmeyer Park. Along with that, we have craft clubs for adults and children. We have adult fitness, kids fitness. Along with during the summer, we have summer day camps. We have 3 pools. We have playground rotations. There's literally something for everybody in your family here in the town of Cheektowaga.
Never too early to start thinking about summer, even when it's here at the holiday season. That's for sure. Now, where can listeners find more information about all of the events held by the Cheektowaga Youth and Recreation Department?
Everything we have is listed on our Facebook page, which is the Cheektowaga Youth and Recreation, or on our website at www.cheektowagarec.org, or you can always give us a call at 716-897-7207.
Crystal Fine, thank you so much for being with us today.
No problem. Have a great day.
You too. And that wraps up this edition of the Western New York Family Magazine podcast. For more great parenting information and local events, pick up your copy of Western New York Family Magazine, available for free at all Wegmans locations, all Federal Meats locations, your public library, and at many of our advertisers. You can also find the magazine for free online at www.wnyfamilymagazine.com. Thank you to Crystal Find, Jasmine and Maika Dubuc, Father David LaPuma, and Domhnary Domke for joining us today. And of course, thank you to you, our listeners. For the Western New York Family Magazine podcast, I'm Paul Klein. We wish you and your family a safe and joyous holiday season. And until next time, make every day a great day. Western New York Family Magazine podcast is a production of Western New York Family Incorporated.